This is KOCO 5 News at 5:30.
Doors kicked in, intruders going through clothes and other items, but nothing taken. I'm Paul Folger.
Hello to you. I'm Jessica Shambach. Suspects targeted 2 homes in southwest Oklahoma City. KOCO's Jonathan Cooper joins us now live from near 134th and Western. Jonathan?
Paul and Jess, this is one of the homes that was hit. That intruder kicked in this back door. You can see some of the damage to the side here. There's also black residue. That is from where police took fingerprints of that suspect. Now, the man who lives here was at work when this happened, but a neighbor saw 2 people pull up in a car and one person got out to ring the doorbell. When nobody answered, they went to the back and kicked in the door. The homeowner believes the suspect went straight for the master bedroom closet and threw clothes all around. But here's the suspicious thing, though. He doesn't think anything was stolen. The man's alarm system was set off and the suspects quickly drove away.
What is really bizarre is there's a lot of people in this area here. You know, there's 12 houses and it's gated. There's a lot of these people are at home. They're retired.
Now, the Homeowners Association posted what happened to their Facebook page, and someone who lives nearby reported something similar. The elderly woman told police someone had kicked in her back door and threw things around in her closet as well. Now, the man who lives here is not taking any more chances. Right now, he's installing these security cameras to monitor his entire property. Reporting live near southwest 134th and Western, Jonathan Cooper, KOCO 5 News.
Yeah, good idea. Jonathan, thank you. Building a snowman on Easter Sunday. Can you believe this? Look at that. That looks more like a snow bunny. A viewer sent us this picture from Woodward. A lot of people waking up in winter weather in northwest Oklahoma.
Clearly that's not snow. That is severe weather overnight in other parts of Oklahoma. One of our producers saw hail down in the Lawton area, and boy, what a difference a day makes here in the metro.
What is going on? Let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane right now. Damon, a lot chillier today.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly the storm system that came in, snow to the northwest, severe weather down to the south, but for all of us tonight, dealing with either a freeze or a frost warning. Freeze warning across northern Oklahoma. So how long can you expect that we're likely going to be seeing some freezing temperatures coming in? Looks like at least we're going to be dealing with a prolonged period of freezing temps. About 5 hours. That's going to roll in after midnight tonight and not at least begin to warm up above freezing until about 5 or 6 a.m. So certainly you do want to cover your plants at whatever you happen to plant early, or even your vegetables, because certainly it will be a cold one tonight. As we go into later this week, the tornado risk will be returning, and it does include Oklahoma City. The impact and how big of a threat you can expect coming up. Back to you.
Okay, Damon, thank you. Well, the snow in northwest Oklahoma is helping crews in their fight against this massive wildfire tonight. The Forestry Service says the fire is nearly half contained. Look at this big rig. Crews battling that fire from the air. The Alva Fire Department posted this video on Facebook. That Chinook helicopter picks up more than 600 gallons of water from the river each time it goes.
Many questions surrounding the deaths of 3 people at a home in southwest Oklahoma City. I want to take you to the scene near 29th and County Line Road. For now, Oklahoma Natural Gas has ruled out carbon monoxide as the cause of death. That's what police and fire crews were pointing to yesterday morning. ONG officials didn't detect any of the gas there at the home. The medical examiner will have the final say on how the victims died, and they were all adults. An overnight shooting led to a police chase in northeast Oklahoma City. This happened near 26th and Prospect. And officers say that a suspect shot at another person at a home. No one was hurt. Officers arrested 2 men after the suspects bailed out of their getaway car just a few blocks away. Another man is still on the run.
The trial for a man charged in a crash that killed a 6-year-old boy will begin soon. On Wednesday, court proceedings pick up for Kelly Korn. Prosecutors say he was drunk, high, and driving the wrong way on the Kilpatrick a year ago. That crash killed 6-year-old Saxton Wadley. Korn is charged with second-degree murder in that case. A proposed expansion of the turnpike, the Kilpatrick Turnpike, will make it easier for a lot of you to get to the airport. This week, you can meet with officials one-on-one to talk about their plan. The Turnpike Authority is hosting that meeting Tuesday night. It's from 6 to 8. If you are interested, just go over to the Mustang Town Center.
And the Girl Scouts are weighing their options over a proposed turnpike in eastern Oklahoma. That turnpike, which would connect I-44 to I-40, will directly cut through Camp Cookie Land. And this weekend, the Girl Scouts had a retreat to take a closer look at the plans, and then we'll talk with state leaders.
Usually grown-ups decide a lot of stuff, and it's really cool that we got to put our input in.
Girl opinion is incredibly important to us, and it's my job to make sure that they have a voice at the table.
The Turnpike Authority has not yet made an offer on the land. The girls will present their findings to the Girl Scout Board.
I like that the Girl Scouts are getting to be heard in this.
They're getting involved.
Yeah.
Well, developing right now overseas, Easter celebrations turned deadly in Pakistan. At least 60 killed in a suicide bombing.
And meanwhile, the protest in the wake of last week's twin bombings in Belgium. ABC's Aaron Katersky is in Brussels.
On this Easter Sunday, a blast in Pakistan targeting a minority Christian community. While there were no direct attacks in Europe, chaos broke out early in Brussels when nationalist protesters descended on the square where Belgians have been mourning victims of Tuesday's attacks and pledging solidarity. Demonstrators tried to change the tone, chanting against immigrants and Muslims and giving Nazi salutes. Police organized quickly in riot gear and fired water cannons to clear them from the plaza. The protest briefly interrupted the serenity of Easter, a respite from what the Archbishop of Brussels called the useless suffering caused by terrorism. At the Vatican, Pope Francis denounced violence he called blind and brutal, saying peace would triumph over evil. Elsewhere in Italy, police arrested a man accused of supplying the Brussels attackers with fake documents, while Belgian police conducted new searches and 4 people were held for questioning. Prosecutors charged this man, shot by police last week as he sat at a trolley stop, with taking part in terror activities. Most of the victims of Tuesday's attacks have now been identified, including Stephanie and Justin Schultz of Kentucky, who had been unaccounted for until this weekend.
It's just tearing my heart out of my chest. I just miss seeing his beautiful smile.
Police and soldiers are now a constant presence, but today the Belgians admitted to neglecting security in the past, leaving the country vulnerable to terrorism. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, Brussels.
In Commitment 2016, Bernie Sanders is celebrating much-needed wins on Saturday. The senator won contests in Washington, Alaska, and Hawaii. He is still behind Hillary Clinton in the delegate count, though, but Sanders says the momentum is growing.
We are now winning in state after state, the Latino vote. We're doing better now that we're out of the South with the African-American vote. We're doing extraordinarily well with young people, and we think we do have a path toward victory.
So the candidates are looking ahead to the next contest, which are next month. Voters from both parties in Wisconsin head to the polls a week from this Tuesday. The next contest after that is on Saturday, April 9th. That's when Wyoming will have its Democratic caucus. You can keep track of the race with the KOCO app. It's free to download in your app store right now.
New tonight, a mammoth skull uncovered in northern Oklahoma. Look at this picture. This is from the Oklahoma Archaeological Survey. And last week they got a call from the person who found the bones there in a sand pit just north of Alva. Experts say a river used to run through here. No word yet on how old that skull is. Sooner Nation has a reason to celebrate. The men's team headed to the Final Four for the first time in 14 years. Look at that excitement. OU beat Oregon in a blowout victory. Final score 80-68. And then coming up in just about 13 minutes, Sports Director Brian Keating will preview the matchup against Villanova.
It's going to be a big one. Hey, you know, a lot of churches busy this Easter weekend. These photos are from the People's Church. They set up an Easter land on their campus near Britton and Kelly. We hope you are having a wonderful Easter on this Sunday.
They're just down the road from us.
Yeah.
It was a packed house.
Big
I saw
crowds,
headed
yes.
into work. Well, check out this Easter egg hunt from more than half a century ago. This is pretty cool to see this old footage. KOCO photojournalist David Valaga found this video of an Easter egg hunt from 1956. The hunt was hosted by the West Side Lions Club right by Lake Hefner. Look how different.
Look at that. A long time ago. A lot of fun for kids still today. We want to see how you're celebrating. Look at this little bunny right here.
Aww.
Oh, so happy right there. Upload your pictures. Look at that. How can you resist? Use the KOCO app and use the ULocal page on it. Easy to do.
We want to see more of those with your kiddos.
So this is caught on camera. It's terror at a college party.
A dance on a roof ends with a trip to the hospital. What kind of injuries the people in this video suffered?
And the hot topic of autism and vaccines, how actor Robert De Niro is weighing in on a controversial new documentary.
And severe storms moving in on Wednesday. Coming up, the tornado risk you need to know about.
And if you see breaking news happening, let us know. You can call our tip line. The number is 475-5555, or just post on our Facebook or Twitter pages.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOCO 5 News at 5:30 with Jessica Shambach, Paul Folger, and Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane.
Just crazy to watch. 3 people recovering after a roof collapsed at a college party in Maryland yesterday. 8 people were on the roof when it gave way. One of them had a broken femur. Nearly 200 people were at that party when it happened. It could have been a lot worse. A scary arrival for vacationers in the Bahamas. A JetBlue plane had to make a hard landing at the airport after the landing gear stopped working. You can see it ended up on its nose. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
That's scary, thankfully. Robert De Niro's weighing in on a controversial documentary about vaccines and autism. The actor pulling the movie from the Tribeca Film Festival. You know, De Niro is actually the co-founder of that festival, and he has a son with autism. One of the directors of the film put out a medical study a few years ago linking autism to childhood vaccines. The study has been discredited by later research. A Florida man was seriously hurt when he was struck by lightning. He was playing with his son at a park Friday when it started to rain. The man's wife saw a lightning bolt hit him in the head. Relatives performed CPR until paramedics arrived. At last check, he was in critical condition.
Now, your first alert forecast, certified most accurate.
What an amazing weekend we have had. Yesterday, some of the nicest weather I think we have seen all year long. And then early this morning, some of us were waking up to snow. KOCO 5 storm chaser Buck King shot this photo right here. This was outside of Alva. He was telling us last week there were fires. This morning, it was snow on the ground in Alva. Once again in Woodward, many of us woke up to snow on the ground, 2-3 inches of snow. It looks like this may be the last chance of snow we're going to see for a while, but certainly it was a beautiful sight to see early this morning as you're headed out for those sunrise services. Our big story, though, as we wake up tomorrow morning, yes, it will be getting cold. A freeze warning for Woodward, Sealing, Enid, Perry, Ponca City, Stillwater, Oklahoma City. We have a frost advisory in effect, and once again, this freeze warning, it's going to likely last for about 5 hours, so just be on the lookout for any plants or vegetables that you have outside. You may want to cover them. 5 hours with temperatures below 32 degrees certainly can do quite a bit of damage to your plants out there. So once again, cold tonight, getting down to 27 degrees in Ponca City, 27 in Stillwater, 28 for a low temperature in Enid. We will get down to that freezing mark right here in Oklahoma City. Average low temperature this time of year, 44 degrees. So certainly this freeze coming in tonight is quite a big deal moving in. And I expect that most of us are likely going to see temperatures above freezing after 8 a.m. So 32 and cold in the morning. By noon, not too bad. 60 degrees on our way up to 68 degrees. But 68 degrees comes with winds around 25 miles per hour. Those winds picking up a sign that our next storm system not that far away. In the meantime, tomorrow, upper 60s to lower 70s, and winds, as I mentioned, will be up around 25 miles per hour. But here comes that risk for severe weather. It moves in on Wednesday, central, eastern Oklahoma. We do have a risk for severe weather. It does include all of Oklahoma City, El Reno, up towards Anadarko, Chickasha, Moore, Norman, Blanchard, Newcastle, and even up towards Guthrie and Stillwater. How big of a severe weather threat are we looking at here? This certainly looks to be our biggest threat that we have had so far this year. The tornado, hail, and wind risk. It is all listed as elevated here. So let's break down the tornado index and what you need to know for Oklahoma City on Wednesday. Once again, on a scale of 1 to 10, it is listed at a 4. We're going to see storms develop from Kingfisher, El Reno, Chickasha, and move to the east, and they will have that severe weather threat. And of course, that risk of a tornado is at a 4. It continues to stay at a 4 for Ponca City, Stillwater, Perry, Enid, Medford, Purcell, Chickasha, and down towards Pauls Valley. So once again, Wednesday, a day that we all have to be very much weather aware as a threat for severe weather. And it looks like at least the best chance of severe weather that we have had all year is back in the forecast. So for tomorrow, cold start to the day. Going back to school, going back to work, yeah, you need that jacket. You won't need it by the afternoon, though. 68 degrees for a high temperature. On Tuesday, 72. Those winds at 35 miles per hour. Wednesday, highlighted in red because of that threat for severe weather. we're at 80 degrees, getting quite warm by the middle of the week. And then that cold front swings through here, and we see our temperatures fall back down into the 60s. As far as a freeze goes, I don't see any freezing temperatures moving in here this week after tomorrow, but we will have to watch Saturday morning once again pretty closely, as we will be getting those low temperatures down into the 30s. However, as fast as those temperatures cool down into the 60s, going into the weekend, I tell you what, if you enjoyed yesterday's weather, because I really think yesterday may have been one of the nicest days that we have had all year, we're going to do it twice next weekend, back into the 70s. Wind's not too bad. It is sunny. And then we're back into the 80s next week. But I stepped outside yesterday and thought, this is amazing. I cannot believe it is going to snow in about 12 hours. And sure enough, we had it this morning.
Funny how that works.
We could have worn shorts yesterday.
Oh,
it was stunningly beautiful. Were you in shorts?
I went out to the zoo. It was great.
That's so nice.
And more to come. That's nice. Very good.
Okay, how about OU?
How about the Sooners? I'll tell you, people were so excited about Oklahoma last night that they got together at 2:30 in the morning to welcome them home.
Yeah.
Roll the video. Yep, that's about 2:30 this morning. The Buddy bandwagon is filling up, folks. The Sooners are going to the Final Four. How Buddy chiseled his name into the history of OU sports. Next on KOCO 5 Sports.
Now, KOCO 5 Sports with Sports Director Brian Keating.
Final Four! Final Four! Final Four! Final Four!
Well, that's what I'd call a hero's welcome. Oh, yeah, a bunch of Sooner fans at the Lloyd Noble Center last night. They were ready to party with those Sooners about 2:30 in the morning. Why the heck not, right? They're on their way to the Final Four for the first time since 2002, and they advance in dominating fashion because they got the best player in the country. And Buddy Hield was all-time great on Saturday night. He had 37 points. He made 8 threes, and some of them you just go, oh, my gosh, you shake your head. He was sensational against Oregon. And so the Sooners are going to Houston, and they are down to the Final Four. So up next, it's the Villanova Wildcats, the champions of the Big East, and they're also a 2 seed. Now they have the impossible task of answering the question, how do you stop Buddy Hield? Because, well, no one seems to know.
Oh, it's special, to be honest with you. And, as a kid, you dream about having games like this. But, I just thank my teammates and my coaching staff for putting me in a position to score the ball, and they give me the confidence.
Yeah, but he just makes shots. He's just unbelievable in getting the ball up on top of the rim. He shoots with great confidence. Doesn't force many. That's the thing that I think has been most amazing on the year. That he shoots it for such a good percentage.
Well, he's a great player, and he was active. He was moving around a lot, and he made it tough on us. We tried to crowd him, tried our best to corral him and keep him out of open areas, but he made a lot of tough shots.
He hit some tough ones. He hit some deep ones. He just backed up and hit a few. That first one or the last one before the half, and the first one that he hit. He hit 3 or 4 that I thought we guarded pretty good, and he just hit them.
When the defense slips up and I get a chance to put it up, I just put it up because my confidence level is so high. So just taking shots in rhythm and taking shots I know I'm capable of making.
It seems to be a pretty good formula for that guy. His 37 points, he now jumps into second place in scoring in the history of Oklahoma basketball. The only player to score more points in a Sooner uniform than Buddy Hield, the late, great Wayman Tisdale. Dick Vitale, he has an opinion about everything. He certainly has one about Buddy Hield. Here he is this morning.
He better be National Player of the Year, and it'll be an investigation. The kid has been absolutely sensational all year. He came out on fire. He had 11 points in the first 5 minutes, and that set the tone for the game. He knocks down 8 threes in the game. He did what a solid goal primetime player does on the big stage. He responded on the big stage. He had his teammates. He gave them the unbelievable motivation. A very good, talented team, very efficient on the perimeter, led by the best player in the country.
No doubt about it. The last time the Sooners were in the Final Four, 2002, Hollis Price was the point guard. Well, he tweeted, "Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Final Four. See you in Houston Stacey King, you know him, sure, one of the all-time greats. Says, so proud to be an Oklahoma Sooner alum. Final Four bound. Great job by Lon Kruger, OU basketball, and Buddy Hield. Remember, we're not done yet. No, they are not. They're off to the Final Four. All right, what's next for the Oklahoma City Thunder? How about tomorrow night against the Toronto Raptors? Thunder beat the Spurs last night to make it their 7th straight win. There's no doubt about this. They played their best basketball the last couple of weeks. They are on a roll, and a tough game tomorrow night. And it shows in the standings. They've created a little distance between themselves and the Clippers. Seedings are basically set. You got Golden State 1, Spurs 2, Thunder 3, Clippers 4, and can you believe it? Just 9 games to go in the regular season. Thunder Raptors tomorrow night. Be right back.
All new tonight on the 10 o'clock news, a medical crisis all across Oklahoma. The new call for action that some say would save lives already at risk.
So this story's made headlines around the nation. Many of you met Paw at his cookout in Purcell yesterday. Kenny Harmon got internet fame after his granddaughter tweeted a picture of him eating a hamburger. She was the only one of his grandkids to show up. He had made hamburgers, 12 hamburgers. Only one of his 6 grandkids showed up, so it was kind of him sad. Hundreds of people from around the world came to Purcell to meet Harmon in person. There was a huge line. We've got this entire story over at KOCO.com.
It's such a wild story.
Yeah,
I mean, really, it is a wild story.
He needs to do an annual cookout.
I mean,
right?
sure, he's got to do that now.
Good stuff. We'll see you tonight on the 10 o'clock.